Do you want to start a podcast for your business? Watch this video next to learn when, as an entrepreneur, you should start your podcast. I'm Kimberly Spencer, founder of CrownYourself.com and host of the Princess and the Bee podcast, helping you become the queen of your life, body, and business. Now, having coached many business owners for the past 5 years and having had many students come into my Communication Queens program where I teach you how to profit from podcasting, I get this question a lot of when should I start my podcast as a business owner? And what I've seen is most business owners start their podcast at the wrong time with the wrong intention. Meaning they start their podcast while they're still in the beginning phases of building their business, meaning they haven't yet achieved cash flow or profit. And so they start their podcast with the intention of building their brand. Let me know in the comments below, did you start your podcast with the intention of building your brand before you were making profit, before you were actually generating cash flow in your business? Now, while I love the intention of wanting to build your brand, the problem is that when you first start a business, that intention is actually reserved for when you are generating both sales and profit first. Mike Malkowitz says in his book, Fix This Next, the first thing as a business owner you need to fix is sales. The second thing you need to fix is profit. Impact is way down the road on that journey. So while you want to build awareness for your brand, actually what you need to flip is you need to be building customers first. So if, as a new business owner, you don't have the audience size yet, meaning you don't have the social media following and the email list size yet, and particularly, and this one's the most important, the customer database yet, or a string of customers that is giving you a monthly freedom metric, meaning you're making a certain amount of money per month that can sustain you, support your family, and support paying all your bills. If you have not reached that point yet, then the focus of building your brand is at the wrong time. And what I've seen using a podcast to build your brand create in most business owners who still haven't achieved a steady flow of sales, cash flow, and profit yet is that it actually produces burnout and overwhelm. Now, I am not saying don't start a podcast. I am saying check the intention in which you are starting a podcast. Because having a podcast can be a powerful source of building your business if you have the right intention at the right stage of where your business is at. So if you're at the stage where you still haven't reached your monthly freedom metric, meaning you haven't reached a point where your business is sustaining a level of cash flow that's coming in, that's covering your bills, your family household bills, and is supporting you as a business owner, then the intention of how and why you start a podcast is different than just building your brand. Building your brand is reserved for later. So now I'm going to share with you 6 questions that you can ask yourself to assess if your business is ready to start your own podcast. So step number 1, like Simon Sinek says in his book, Start with Why. Understanding the right why will change the game and the dynamic for how you approach the strategy of having a podcast to generate the cash flow and the leads. Because if you're at the stage in your business where you're still working on generating sales and profit, then you're using a podcast is a way to build referral partners, build potential clients, show off your skill sets. It can be that powerful way of helping build that know, like, and trust factor with your clients and your community. And it can be a powerful strategy to generate and build the relationships to potential referral partners, affiliates, or even clients if you start with the right why. If you start with the why of it being sales related or profit related to start generating income into your business. not just building brand awareness. Number 2, to understand when is the right time to start your podcast is your business generating revenue? Are you generating sales? Are you generating profit, which is different than sales? And if you want to learn, the only thing that you need to focus on as a business owner in the initial beginning phases of your business, it's not building brand awareness. It is what I talk about in this video right here, going from broke to business owner as a baby mama. As a business owner, it is your primary responsibility to nurture your business baby with cash flow. Cash flow is the boob milk of your business. It is what nourishes that infant business into a toddler, teenager, and into adulthood. So if your business is still in its infancy stages, meaning it's still requiring you to generate cash flow and to feed it cash from customers and to feed it money, then that means that your intention should be around that first before building brand awareness and letting everyone know that you have a baby. If your business is not yet in a place where it's generating cash flow sales and has sustainable monthly sales, you can still use your podcast to start building referral partnerships, affiliate partnerships, and even client conversations. For example, one of my clients had a product that she could sell to other naturopathic doctors like herself. She started her podcast to build those referral partnerships, to share what she sold, to try to get her product into other naturopathic doctors' offices. So because she had a product and a service already available to support other naturopathic doctors, chiropractors, detox specialists, because she had a product to support them, she used her podcast as an interview-based podcast to help her make introductions to other potential people who would be interested in buying her product. That being said, because she had an interview-based podcast, it allowed her to build a relationship with potential affiliate partners, referral partners, or have people on her podcast who could be a potential customer who would be interested in purchasing her product for their brick and mortar businesses. Now, if your business is generating sales and sustainable monthly sales and you do have profit, do you currently have the systems in place to maintain that client sat and customer satisfaction and serve the existing customers and clients that you have who are producing that cash flow, and then also have the systems to sustain building something new, creating something new, i.e. your podcast? Now, inside of my program, Communication Queens, I teach you the exact production systems that we have so that you don't have to create the wheel to produce your podcast. You can easily, if you already have cash flow coming in and you're ready to start your own podcast, then I give you the exact systems so that you have the ease of use inside of Communication Queens, which, by the way, you can get your booty on the wait list right now. And question number 5 to know when should you start a podcast for your business is, do you have the team support? Do you have people who can currently manage the existing operations, making sure they are currently and effectively running, and have people that can manage the production, distribution, and marketing of your podcast? Now, this doesn't mean that you need to have a gigantic team of 25 employees. You can do this with 1 or 2 virtual assistants. I teach you exactly how to do this inside of my program, Communication Queens, so that you get to stand out in your zone of genius as the leader, the visionary, the messenger, the person who does the interviews or who records the podcast, but not the person who's doing all the things that are involved with the producing, the distribution, the marketing of the podcast. Because let's be honest, it's a lot. So, do you have the current team support to make sure that you have the support around your existing clients and customers so that they're taken care of, so that then you can start something new? Because if you don't have the team support, if you don't have team, if you haven't delegated parts that are not in your zone of genius, which if you need to watch a video on how to delegate and what to delegate inside of your podcast process, watch this video next. If you don't know where your zone of genius is, both with your client operations, your sales, and your marketing, meaning your podcast, then this is what I have seen lead so many business owners to complete burnout, because they're doing all the things and they haven't effectively delegated the pieces that are not inside their zone of genius. And the last question you should ask yourself when regards to is it the right time to start your podcast for your business is, do you have the audience size? When it comes to producing and starting your own podcast for your business, do you have an audience that wants to listen, consume, understand, and build a relationship with you? Because one of the things I love about podcasting compared to social media or YouTube is that the average listener time for a podcast is 20 minutes. Compare that to the average watch time for a YouTube video is 4 minutes. So if you're still watching now, congratulations! We've made it past the 4-minute mark. The average post time for social media is literally like 3 seconds, if that. So a podcast really allows you to build that know, like, and trust factor. But do you know what your audience wants to build trust with you talking about? Do you know what your audience trusts you to deliver? And if not, then ask them. Build that relationship with your audience so that when you start your own podcast, you have listeners who are already ready and wanting to listen to what you have to say and to the people that you bring in for interviews should you have an interview-based podcast. Now, I hope this gave you some clarity as to when you should start a podcast for your business. Let me know in the comments below what you loved about this video. So, whether you're feeling like now is the right time to start your own podcast and to turn it into a profit-generating podcast, or if you're feeling like you're not really sure if now is the right time to start your own podcast, but you still want to be on podcasts and share your message, then jump into Communication Queens. Because inside of Communication Queens, I teach you how to use guest podcasting and your own podcast to produce profit inside of your business. So whether you're ready to produce your own podcast now or you need a little bit of time to get your business in order, I teach you inside of Communication Queens my 7-step framework to getting booked on podcasts, even if you don't have your own, so that you can show up, stand out, share your story, serve and sell, and use podcasting as a profitable strategy for your business to generate more clients, more revenue, so that you make the income and the impact that you deserve. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. As always, my fellow sovereigns, own your throne, mind your business, because your reign is now. Watch these videos next to learn more about how to profit from podcasting. Watch this video. What did the video? Cash flow in your business? Or potential clients. Like now is the right, dang it, this earring. Building your brand. My earring keeps on falling out. Not wearing these earrings again to record. Whew.